They say some buildings never stop breathing, even after everyone inside is dead. The rain had stopped just as Marcus pulled his jacket tighter and approached the looming shape of St. Augustine Memorial Hospital. He had worked security for years, malls, warehouses, a school once, but never a hospital. This building, though, didn't feel alive like the others. Windows were black squares, and the stone walls seemed to sweat with old damp. A faint smell of disinfectant lingered in the wind, long after the hospital was supposed to have closed. The job description had been vague. Night security guard needed. Good pay, immediate start. Marcus needed the money. He ignored the way his stomach clenched when the rusted automatic doors groaned open without power. The lobby was too quiet. No phones ringing, no footsteps, no machines humming, just his own boots echoing across cracked tiles. At the reception desk sat a clipboard, untouched for decades, yet one page bore today's date. His own name was written in neat block letters. Marcus Lee, security. He swallowed hard and checked his flashlight. First night, he whispered to himself. Easy money, just patrol. He walked the halls, light beam cutting through peeling paint and dangling wires. He passed rooms with rusted beds, faded murals of smiling children, and wheelchairs tipped on their sides like insects. Then, faintly, he heard it. Sirens. Not outside, inside the walls. Marcus pushed through the lobby doors just in time to see headlights sliding through the fog. An ambulance, black and slick with rain, rolled silently into the driveway. Its siren wailed low, distorted, like a scream played backward. The back doors burst open. Nurses in old-fashioned uniforms stepped out, their faces smooth porcelain like cracked doll masks. Their glassy eyes didn't blink. Behind them shuffled a man in a white coat, a doctor, or what remained of one. His body was little more than a skeleton stretched in yellowed skin. A stethoscope dangled from brittle ribs. Together they dragged patients from the ambulance, men and women covered in gauze, limbs bent at impossible angles, faces warped as if melted. Their eyes rolled in black sockets. Marcus stumbled backward, but one of the doll-faced nurses turned her head with a sharp snap. "You're late," she said, voice muffled like it came through plastic. "Come inside. It's not safe to stand out here." Before Marcus could resist, bony fingers clamped his arm. The skeletal doctor pulled him toward the sliding doors. The hospital swallowed them all. The lights flickered on in the emergency room. Marcus blinked. The place had looked abandoned, yet now the halls bustled with movement. Nurses wheeled stretchers. Doctors barked orders. Surgical tools clattered. But none of it was right. The nurses' faces stayed fixed, smiles painted on cracked porcelain. Their glassy eyes followed him. The skeletal doctor adjusted gloves over bones, snapping them tight though his fingers poked through. On the stretchers lay the unnatural patients, one with his chest split open, organs still moving, another whose head rotated slowly, eyes staring into the ceiling. Marcus pressed against the wall, trembling. I don't belong here," he muttered. One nurse tilted her doll head. "All patients belong here." A tray rattled beside him. Surgical instruments glistened wet, though no one had touched them. He turned to run. His boots pounded down a hallway past doors slamming shut on their own. He spotted an elevator at the end, its doors flickering open and closed. He lunged inside and slammed the button for lobby. Instead, another button lit up. B2. The elevator dropped fast, rattling like it would fall apart. When it stopped, the doors hissed open to reveal a long corridor lined with flickering bulbs. The walls were clean. Too clean. Machines hummed. Rows of beds stretched into the dark, each occupied. Patients lay hooked to monitors, intravenous lines dripping, machines breathing for them. Their skin was gray, their chests barely rising. Some had been here so long their sheets had fused with their skin. Marcus crept closer to a chart dangling from one bed. His flashlight shook. Patient. Marcus Lee. Admission Tonight. His breath caught. He stumbled back, and every patient opened their eyes. Alarms shrieked. Red lights pulsed. Hands grabbed him, skeletal, porcelain, claw-like, dragging him down the hall. He kicked, screamed, but they pulled him into operating room 9. The room glowed harsh white. A surgical table gleamed in the center. Blood dripped steadily from nowhere, splattering across steel. The skeletal doctor raised a scalpel with fingers like twigs. Procedure begins. The doll nurses held Marcus down. The tools on the tray trembled, lifted, hovered in the air as if eager. "No!" Marcus thrashed. His flashlight slipped, rolled under the table. Its beam revealed the corner of the room, a generator panel, humming faintly. He remembered the job description: security. Keep the hospital powered. He twisted free just enough to grab the flashlight and smashed it against the panel. Sparks erupted. The lights flared, then died. Darkness swallowed the operating room. Then chaos exploded. The skeletal doctor shrieked, his bones snapping and scattering like dry branches tossed into fire. The doll nurses convulsed, their porcelain faces cracking open to reveal empty hollows beneath. Monitors flatlined in a deafening chorus. The patients on the stretchers jerked violently, pulling out their own intravenous lines, spraying black fluid onto the walls. Their eyes glowed red for a moment before collapsing back into sockets. The hospital itself groaned like a wounded beast. Walls buckled, ceiling tiles fell, and doors slammed as if trying to trap Marcus inside. One last figure stumbled toward him, a nurse, her doll face half shattered. Her voice was deeper now. "You broke the heart of this place, but the hospital remembers every soul it has taken, including yours." The floor split open. Beneath the cracked tiles writhed hundreds of pale arms, clawing, reaching, begging to drag him into the earth. Marcus staggered, smoke filling his lungs. He grabbed a fallen defibrillator from the floor. Sparks jumped from the paddles, still hot with charge. With a roar, he slammed them against the collapsing generator panel and finally collapsed into silence. Marcus staggered into the night. The hospital stood silent again, a hollow shell. No lights, no movement, no staff. But in his hand, he still clutched the chart he had torn from the bed. His own name stared back at him. Beneath it, in new ink, one final line had been added. Status: discharged. The paper crumbled to ash between his fingers. Marcus looked back at the dark hospital, smoke still curling from broken windows. Even a dead building can still hunger, until someone finally starves it. And with that, he turned and walked into the rain. Behind him faintly a siren wailed, but it faded, as though the nightmare had finally ended.